Hello again everybody, this is Amergan and you're very welcome back to another Star Trek Fleet Command where we're looking at the second ever expansion of a faction into the game. It's the second ever new faction introduced to the game. The first one's obviously last year around this time was the Augments with Khan and all of that. We've seen some activity in terms of new content, new storylines relating to that, and now we've got the advent of another faction, guys, the Outlaws. When we zoom in here, we can see there seems to be reference to some of these old Western movies. Tombstone there, for example. Van Cleef, presumably Lee Van Cleef. Mitchum, presumably Robert Mitchum. These kind of things. Now, I could be wrong on that, but this seems to be loosely related to wee tips of the hat to the old Western outlaws kind of thing. Now, Harry Mudd, I wouldn't say is the type of outlaw that those old Westerns would have introduced us to, but I suppose Scopely have the license to go and do this kind of stuff if they want. I don't know about you guys, but to me it looks vaguely like a map of Australia. I was talking to some of the founder server guys. Remember on APAC we have an awful lot of Australians playing, and many of those Aussies were part of the whole early testing phases, pre-global launch and all of that. Joined with us Irish lads on what we now know as the founder server when we were all merged together and mashed together before any of these other mergers happened. And some say it's a wee tip of the hat to the Aussies in there, and my response to that would have been like, well, if that's going to vaguely reflect Australia, where the convicts and the outlaws were shipped out years ago by the Brits, then where's the Irish? Like, it was developed in Ireland. Where's the wee tip of the hat to the Irish? Now, some guys recommended that or suggested that Augments looked vaguely like an Irish kind of. I don't agree. Tell me what you think, guys. That's not even remotely like the map of Ireland, I wouldn't say. Some similarities could be drawn, but certainly not as much as there could be drawn with that being like a map of Australia. So is that what are we looking at? A hidden tribute to all of the convicts and outlaws that inhabit Australia, all their descendants that now live there, and some of whom have tested this game in its earlier phases. You let me know what you think, guys, but we're looking at, whatever the reasons are, we're looking at this new faction anyway, and some of you guys might remember I'd done a video there a while back. We'll bring up the screenshot here. Done a video a while back on the potential for new factions to come into the game. Some of those guys that I'm talking about, some of those Aussie guys would have been familiar with maps like these before global launch. Some of the information that these guys have go way back to the very, very early incarnations of this game, when this is what the thing looked like. This is what Federation space, Romulan space, and Klingon space looked like back then, guys. We do see very relevant things to Star Trek canon there, like Gornar, Talon, Nausicaa and Orion, all there, the Briar Patch and things like that. And you can see rough outlines there for potential new factions. We had suggested in that video, guys, that Gornar had basically been split in half and turned into Augment space. We had asked the question, where would a new faction potentially be located? You can see there that Talon's been moved on the new map, on our map that we look at today in 2020, and that's all been absorbed by the Klingons. I'll leave a link to the video that I done on that down below, guys. Check that one out if you feel like it. But we can see here that this roughly seems to be the sort of location that we're talking about. Let's flick back to the game and just compare that for a wee second. One minute, there we go. Where are we in relation to Augment space? We're just slightly up there, below Federation space, just slightly off to the left of Augment space as we look at it. And we refer back to this map and zoom out a wee touch. Probably this vicinity here. So, well within the boundaries of what would have been outlined as Orion space there at one time. And lots of room, like we had said before, to expand into in these other parts of space. It would be nice to see proper Star Trek canon come in. The Mutara Nebula down there, we can see all of these things referenced in Star Trek lore and they're established within Star Trek canon. Scopely seem to be writing their own their own version of what's going on out there in the universe. So let them at it. We let the community decide how this new content has been received. We'll do a community panel pretty soon, guys, with a number of the players that are very experienced now at this stage with this product, and we'll do a wee bit of a review what we like and what we don't like that's going on within this game right now, particularly in relation to the Outlaws and this new content. I suppose we'll take just a wee look at what that conversation might look like. We'll go in here, we'll go to the announcement. I'm not going to get into what this content is about. What I really want to do in this video is reflect on the fact that there's a new faction. Suggest that you guys come and engage with us in some way in terms of your thoughts and your feelings before we do a community panel, and then afterwards, of course. And we'll bring members of the community reflective of a number of different servers together, and we'll discuss this hopefully sooner rather than later. We'll probably give it a wee bit of time. If the guys are keen to go tonight, then we might even go tonight within hours of this video being uploaded. But otherwise, we'll let it digest a little bit, and we'll see what people are saying, and then we'll come back with a more considered review, hopefully at some point anyway. So there we have a new content, Outlaws Part 2. We'll get into that and we'll discuss that. There's a new research tree. That's an interesting one, might be useful. New ship, of course. Rogue faction, this is what they're called, the Rogue faction, and a new faction store. New outlaw missions, okay. New Eclipse Armada targets, okay. Improvements to ships hiding under mission planets, and it is a contentious one because it's there as an improvement. And if you look at Heck Beyond the Stars channel, he done a wee poll on whether people liked it or not, and overwhelmingly people did not like it. I don't see what it was taken away. I don't think it was ruining anybody's game experience, the fact that you were able to hide under the mission planet. They're saying that they're gonna look at new strategy mechanics for PvP combat in future and all of that, but right now I don't see why there was a need to remove that. That smells an awful lot like being spoil sports, and you know, being a little bit kind of reactionary, and the players are enjoying something and take it away, you know. But we'll discuss all of that in the community panel as well. Number of bug fixes there, guys. Nothing that stands out overly. I would recognise there was an issue with Pike and Moreau and having a full synergy. I wonder, is that completely fixed there now? An event bucket not showing its headline. Yeah, that I've seen that. The Wi-Fi symbol remaining stuck on the screen, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, so that's what we're going to talk about, guys. New faction in the Rogues, the Outlaws. New place in the faction store as well. So we'll be able to purchase all these faction specific items and all of that along the lines, you'd imagine, of what we do here in the Augment faction store. New currencies, items to be accrued. There's new exchange loot. There's new systems, of course, as well, guys. We'll pop out, take a very, very quick look at that. I'm conscious as well that there's guys there who have watched some of the videos who go way back in this game, and still check out the video, see if there's anything new in it. So we've got this Exchange Central, a few systems up there for me to go and explore yet. Haven't been up there. I'll send this old Centurion up that way to start doing that, if I can. And hopefully that'll be ready to go just before I finish the video. And inside in these systems, we've got a housing system in there. You can see some of the Hom lads are in there already. So nice colours, nice looking colours. It's very pleasing on the eye. A bunch of the Hom lads occupying this planet here. Who've we got? Seven, Phil, Legion, Shady, and Octo. So the guys are parked in there. Another 11 slots. They're obviously getting stuck into the content. Not all the hostiles are showing there for me, but you've got these exchange transports as well that drop these security codes, and as well as that, we've looked in at the faction store. Let's look in at the research for a wee second, and you got the new research option in here under Outlaws. So plenty to look at there yourselves, guys, on your own time. I'm going to attend to that now in a few moments, and like I say, we'll come back with a community panel and we'll review all of this, how people are liking it. what their feelings and their thoughts are on it, and all of that. Let's see if the Centurion has arrived at its location. There she is. This is non-faction space, but it's still new and blood red from the looks of it there. There's the new armadas. 2 million strength on that boy. More traders in here. Dropping the same stuff. So, plenty for me to get stuck into, guys. Be sure to leave your feelings, thoughts, comments on Discord, link below. Don't forget to like and subscribe and all of that kind of stuff. Hit the bell for your notifications, etc. And leave your comments below this video as well. And let's get the conversation going. The community panel will be back to do a proper full-on review on this once we've had an opportunity to get our teeth into it. And until then, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I'll chat to you all again soon. Cheers.